What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good Thursday. Bobby Fi and Eric Sheets-Haber. We are going to be talking through this 4-game NBA slate. Look, to be honest, I don't think anybody should listen to me right now. I cannot win to save my life. I actually had a good night 2 nights ago, so I shouldn't say that, but it's been really, really bad overall this season so far for me in the NBA. So trust Sheets, don't trust me, but we will talk through what we like. And Sheets, what are your overall? How'd you do yesterday? Overall thoughts on the slate?
Well, not a good day to tout me. I mean, NBA, I was bad yesterday. I played only like 10-15% of that of the greatest basketball player of all time, and that Tyson guy, whoever that was,
Right.
ended up getting 14x, whatever the hell that was. So I didn't win yesterday. But it's also, in a weird way, you shouldn't be listening to anybody at noon for the NBA. You really shouldn't be listening to anybody until like 6:57, probably, on a 7 o'clock slate, just because of how quickly the news changes, the starters change, and the projections update after that. It's a tough sport. Tonight is a weird kind of construction because there are 2 games, 3 games, 7, 7:30, and 8, and then a big old 10:30 Laker game. But listen, I still think it's kind of healthy to give kind of an early look. Yeah, and we'll see how long this lasts. Only because I have somebody coming to swap out internet in about 15 minutes. So if I have to bail out for them, I will. We have other stuff going on, by the way. I hate to waste time with this, but we have we're going to be doing a football preview after this. I did my MMA preview for a very interesting card, by the way. I encourage you guys to watch that. I'm probably going to do a hockey one also today, just to kind of continue to diversify the offerings here, and then we'll be going live at 6. Not to mention, we have the showdown slate tonight in football. I might do a preview of that. I got a little bit of time this afternoon to maybe run some builds and stuff. So plenty of sports, plenty of stuff to go on. But I guess we should just get going.
Yeah, we can get going with it. Here, you want me to? I can share.
You should probably share yours just in case I have to. Yeah.
Here we go. Let me just pull up this window and we'll go from there. All right. Yeah, so I'm actually very curious about how this slate ends up looking. We don't know about Rui yet, but I don't know, man. I understand he's not going to make 9 out of 12 threes every night, but I just want to play the connect anyway. We'll get to that in a minute. Detroit and Charlotte. I guess to give my quick look, like at first glance, I actually like the idea of getting to one of Cade or Ivy. They're expensive, but it's a really good matchup. And I think that this is a place where you would want to spend money tonight. I like the idea of having one of those two. I'm not as married to the Harris, but Duran I also like as well. So those are the 3 guys I'm considering from the Detroit side. Nobody makes quite a priority list. What happened with LaMelo the other night is sort of hard to figure out. He said he felt like the coach said that he benched LaMelo the last 4 minutes of the game. There was a 1-point game, and he said he felt like Trey Mann had a better handle on the team at the moment. I like Charles Lee as a coach, and he's been helpful to this team, but mostly it's been by letting LaMelo kind of cook. So I'm a little weirded out and not really sure what to do with the Charlotte side at the moment. I think Brandon Miller is the one thing I know that I have interest in, but everything else feels sort of like up in the air for me. What do you like about this game?
Projections wise, not much. I mean, that Miles Bridges, Grant Williams, and LaMelo. I mean, those are my 3 favorites. They look pretty good. Brandon Miller feels dirty at 6,900, but he's been doing it. So those guys look good. Detroit, I mean, Tobias Harris is the only guy I even have showing up, and he's all the way down like 12th on my list anyway. And so I don't know. I'm not particularly interested in this game. Let me just see. I did run some early Sims at least. Let me see what I ended up getting, because whenever I'm not sure whatchamacallit, of what's going to show up, some weird stuff shows up. I usually like these 5K guys, but let me just see what we have here. That looks like that's actually FanDuel. Sorry about this. I wasn't prepared, but so it looks like it's all these. Yeah, I'm actually 65% LaMelo in my first runs. So I don't know about benching him, or that seems pretty stupid to me. But what can I tell you?
Yeah, it was weird. It was a tight game, and he played 23 minutes.
Yeah. So I have LaMelo with like 65% ownership. So that should say enough. And actually, Miles Bridges is like 62%. So I actually am getting all these Charlotte guys after all.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely a pivot. The pivots off of that if you want to, just because I think it's a good matchup to take both sides, but I would want to run back from Detroit personally. Like I like the matchup for them with Charlotte. So that's just me. All right, Minnesota and Toronto. I look, it's a four game slate, so I'm sure I'm going to end up with these guys, assuming that I play tonight, which I'm not sort of up in the air right now. I don't really have anybody who like looks outlandishly amazing. It's a great matchup. I think Naz Reid would be my favorite play from the Minnesota side, and I think on the Toronto side, I really didn't get much, assuming that Scotty Barnes does in fact come back and play tonight, which he's expected to. So
you faded out. I lost you at the end.
Oh, I said I couldn't get much from Toronto with Scotty Barnes most likely back tonight.
Oh, he's been out the whole season?
Most of it, almost the whole season.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything on Toronto. Except, oh wow, they really did it. They made Pirtle 8,100, like they're probably supposed to, I suppose.
I mean, yeah, the guy keeps putting up 60 and 50 and whatever.
I like guys. The guys who are showing up for me on Minnesota are guys I don't like to play, which is a little annoying. So that would be Rudy Gobert and Mike Conley. And literally, two guys I don't like to play. I saw a really funny video related to Anthony Edwards, by the way, which I'm going to post in the Discord. I think it was very.
Oh, okay.
I'll put that up there. I don't want to violate God knows how many laws, but put it in this chat. Actually, it's probably not that. Anyway, Edwards 9,600. I'm getting him in some lineups, I have to say. So let's just put him in. Edwards, Gobert, and Conley, and I really don't have anything from Toronto. So let's see what happens with the Scotty Barnes stuff.
I just honestly, I love Anthony Edwards as much as more than probably most people who like basketball, but somebody's gonna have to explain to me why he's 9,600. I cannot understand.
What should he be?
8,500 maybe.
Fair enough.
He's hit 50 twice in 20 games or 3 times in 20 games, whatever. Like I don't really understand it. Just compared to some of the other guys we have, and we'll talk about one of them in a minute. Utah and San Antonio. Right now, I actually think that this is again, it's a great spot for Utah. It's always tricky to figure out the guard situation. We got Clarkson questionable. If Clarkson is out, both George and Sexton would be guys I would not lock in, but they'd be close for me. We finally got a couple of good Markkanen games and a bad John Collins game. So now all of a sudden everybody wants to play Markkanen, not John Collins. I would just say go back to John Collins. You know what I mean? And if this ownership ends up being somewhat even close to true, John Collins has been the better fantasy producer by a good margin this season. Why wouldn't we just go back to him if Markkanen is going to be 3 times the ownership? That was my thoughts on this game, and I'm not sure that's really going to be the case, but that's what we have right now. Then we get back into the big man conversation. If Zach Collins is out, Charles Bassey probably is a lock play on this small slate. Assuming that he starts, even if he doesn't start, I guess whoever starts would be the one, but I really, really think he would end up starting, and I think that would be the play, and I think he's probably a good play anyway. As far as with no Wemby, the Castle, Champagne, they're probably all still too cheap. And I would just remind everybody that the one who had the big game the other night was Harrison Barnes. And I'm not saying that in general you want to go after that, but remember they need some usage to be taken up. Harrison Barnes had a 22% usage rate, which is not incredible, but for him it's pretty high. He's 4,400. So he's the one I like at lower ownership, and I'm fine with the chalk at the top here. I really don't know how you avoid it. Just with with no Wemby, there's just plenty of room for them. Maybe the guy I end up talking myself into is Branham instead of Paul or Castle. That's just one thing I was considering. How about you for this game?
The 3 San Antonio guys, the 3 value guys are actually my top 3 point per dollar plays right now. And the guys you mentioned, Bassey, Castle, and Champagne. None of them I have over like 8x or anything like that, but they're all right around 6. Then I have Chris Paul, 6,300. He's in there. Keldon Johnson, 5,300. He's in there. Zach Collins. So depends on who plays or whatever. But as you were kind of alluding to, not really. Short slate. These guys are going to stand out. it's kind of hard to get away from him unless some other value comes.
Absolutely. I think you probably are playing a minimum of 2. I just wanted to point out that the Barnes and Branham at lower ownership might be an interesting way to go, to be a little bit different while using them. But you're probably playing Bassey no matter what if Collins is out. By the way, if Collins is in, the ownership on him, like I think it's probably a little too low. I still like him at 6K too. But yeah, I think you're playing minimum of 2 from San Antonio at least if you slated to start right now. Maybe a minimum of 3. All right, we've got Orlando at my Lakers. I am just going to keep reminding everybody. I don't care if he didn't do it last night and he had it's a little bit of a rough game against the Clippers. I'm probably there's no lineups I would play tonight. I don't think without Franz Wagner. He's my favorite. Like if you look at just even if a game log watch, why is Franz Wagner cheaper than Anthony Edwards? I think Wagner is the best. Or as good a spend up as anyone on the slate. So love him. Not really interested in that much else. I wouldn't mind getting to some Jalen Suggs on a small slate. I wouldn't mind getting to some Jonathan Isaac. Don't love the back-to-back for Isaac, but he actually played a little bit in the last back-to-back, so I'm okay with it. And on the Lakers side, like I said, I think I kind of just want to play connect. And Anthony Davis is getting pricey and very deservedly so. I like Davis better than LeBron as usual, but I have no issue if you wanted to play LeBron. And they lowered D'Angelo Russell's price. There's again, it depends on what happens with Rui. But if Rui is out again, I like Russell with the second role, and they dropped his price to 4,600. That's another piece that I was considering. So, what do you like, if anything, from this game?
Connect, right? I mean, I don't know.
You're gonna play him, right?
I don't know why they would start Rui if he came back. If you want to know the truth,
I can't figure out what the hell they're thinking if they did.
Well, who do you know? How do we know what's going to happen if he comes back?
No, they're going to start. They're going to start Connect. I think it's too good of odds.
I mean, if you don't start the guy, what are you doing? It's like,
right.
Well, I mean, you don't have to, I suppose, but I think that the guy's 5K and he puts up 50 points. It's like and yeah, he was hot from 3, but he's a good 3-point shooter. That's in the range of outcomes. It's not like it's not going to happen every day, but these are GPP plays. I mean, this is what happens. And yeah, you'll and the good thing is I don't think you're going to get those 2 for 15 games from him because LeBron won't let it happen. You know what I mean? Like,
well, he doesn't even have interest in it. He's like, that's my only concern. He's actually too for fantasy purposes. He's like a really good basketball player. He has no problem with just playing his role, whatever it is. But he's very aware when he gets a little bit hot that he demands the ball. He's tough. And he does a lot of other things too. People talk about the shooting, and that's been obviously standing out. But he's an excellent cutter. He's really, really good at off-ball screen. He does everything really well. I just think he's a really good basketball.
Well, that's the point. I mean, if he's a good basketball player, LeBron will let him play. So but the Taylor Horton-Tucker syndrome or whatever. He
doesn't have it with Connect. Do you hear LeBron's quote on it? Actually, it was kind of funny. He said they said, what do you think Howard Lake was able to find Connect? He goes, find him. He goes, the other 16 teams all made a mistake and they know it.
Right.
Like I was saying before, I really think in this kind of a draft, this could have been like a top 3 pick. There's no reason it shouldn't have been.
Who is T. De Silva?
Tristan De Silva. The minutes have sort of gone a little bit all over the place, and he's not especially productive. You got him as a value.
So him and Isaac are very similar priced at the same position, I think. I just have both of them come showing up a little bit. He's been
De Silva started some of the games, and he's been right around that, whatever, the 15 to 20 range most of his games. So he's fine for value. He's just not a guy I'm going out of my way to get.
But in general, I mean, I'm really not getting much in this game. I'm not getting Connect either. You know what I mean? I like him, but I'm just not getting him right now. As if, in fact, he does come off the bench. I mean, it's not going to be as good of a play. But it's a 4-game slate. You know, it is going to be probably a low total. Orlando plays good defense. But Wagner, I'm not even getting Wagner at 9,100. I'm really not getting anybody from this game.
Oh, I really like the Wagner. I think he plays a big one tonight.
What else was I going to say? I guess that was pretty much it. When I ran my stuff, I was getting Bassey, Castle, LaMelo, Gobert, Paul, Bridges. Really not getting 17% LeBron, but that's pretty much it.
Mhm.
And what news are we waiting on, really? I guess Zach Collins. I suppose Rui.
Yeah, I don't think that Wendell. Well, okay, Carter hasn't played yet, and he's been questionable like 3 times, so he might not play. Which means Batazzi would look okay as a starter, and Mo Wagner might look okay as a backup. That's one piece. Rui is another piece, as you mentioned. The Zach Collins, the Clarkson. Those are the ones that I had as the biggest. Oh, I guess Miles Bridges and Conley, but I think I'm sort of expecting both of them to play, but who knows these days in the NBA? It seems like more often than not when a guy's questionable, they're out. It used to be they were usually playing. Now it's like they're almost always out, it feels like. It's been just sort of a mess.
So I've heard. I wonder if it's gonna catch on. Are they saying Connect 4 or no?
Oh no, absolutely. We're saying
it is. Okay, all right, good.
Yeah, Connect 4 is awesome.
Okay.
And the other nickname that Snoop gave him was Westside Connect.
Ooh, okay.
That was a cool one. Like people were saying before,
a little more, a little more NBA, I guess.
Yeah, but it's cool for him to like have like two nicknames. That's literally 2 more than these other superstars.
So here's the video I saw. I can play it because it's like a YouTube short.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know. I thought this was really freaking funny. Okay.
Are you putting it on there, or should I shut my screen share off?
Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah, we need to share.
Hang on, I gotta pause this somehow. So I forgot to share my screen.
Oh, it's okay. Oh yeah.
Hold on. This is very funny. I'll tell you why I was looking. It's pretty brutal why I was searching, but I'll tell you why in a minute. It had something to do with Connect. But hold on. All right. So.
Oh, I think I've seen this before. Anthony Edwards might be the funniest guy in the NBA.
I don't know. I just made me laugh. Jay Willis, he's great.
Yeah, he is. No, he is.
Oh, the reason I was looking it up, there was a play where I think Reeves like threw an alley oop to Connect, and people were posting on Twitter. It was the first white to white alley oop in like the NBA.
All time, right.
So I was looking up the whole Jay Williams clips to see if I can't find anything. So I
there was some with him and Page.
Of course, that YouTube short for some reason. I just
That's so funny.
All right.